the Wuhan branch of BBOC, and finally, Mr. Li Yang, the Deputy DG of the Hubei CDC. Now, I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Li Yang to give you the latest development of COVID-19. By 24 o'clock, March the 31st, the accumulative reported confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the province reached 67,802, among which 50,007 in Wuhan, representing 74% of the provincial total, and there are 17,795 in other cities, that's 26% of the provincial total. From 0 to 24 o'clock, March the 31st, there's an increase of 1 confirmed cases of COVID-19, which is imported case, and it's transformed from an asymptomatic case. And the local cases have, for 8 days in a row, reported 0 increase. For other places in the province, except for Wuhan, there's 0 report of new cases for 27 days in a row. Until yesterday, we still have 1,283 cases in hospital, among which 311 severe cases and 124 critical cases. Until March the 31st, the accumulative fatal cases reached 3,193. As of yesterday, there's 6 new fatal cases, 5 in Wuhan and 1 in Jingzhou. Until March the 31st, in total, we have cured and discharged 63,326 cases. As of yesterday, we have newly discharged 173 cases, all of them in Wuhan. For yesterday, we have 47 new cases of asymptomatic cases, among which 1 turned into confirmed case. There are still 982 cases under medical observation. Now I'd like to give the floor to Madam Liu Yanhong to give us explanations about the document entitled Multiple Measures to Cope with the COVID-19 Impacts and to Secure Jobs. Friends of the press, good afternoon. On the 27th of March, the Department of the Provincial Government has published a document entitled Multiple Measures to Cope with COVID-19 Impacts and to Secure Jobs. First, general considerations. We have combined the short term and the long term. We have to be based on the current situation, accelerate the resumption of the work, and we also have to look at the near future after the end of the COVID-19. Second, we have taken multiple measures to reduce the burdens and increase job opportunities. All those measures should come through at the same time. We have to help people to survive and help jobs to survive and mobilize more parties. And third, we should make our focus clear. For major enterprises, especially the SMBs, we have to give them more support. And also for the new graduates, we have to help them to find a job. And fourth, we have to secure the bottom line. We have to carry out a lot of measures to give subsidies to people and basic living allowances to them. And basic contents of the document. We have to take timely measures and effective measures to help people go back to their work, to resume the work in a timely manner, and also help the new graduates from universities to find a job. We also encourage people to create their enterprises and create a business. At the same time, we also give them financial coverage and subsidies. In total, there are 25 principles in 9 different aspects to help people. We have assistance and also guidelines. We will help people to resume their work so that we can secure more jobs. Currently, we enjoy the mutual recognition of the health code with other provinces, so more of our workers can go back to their working positions in other provinces. We also have the point-to-point transportation services. This will help more enterprises to resume their work in a timely manner. And also there is the dispatch of people mechanism for those qualified key enterprises. Once for all, they can have a one-time subsidy. And second, we have to secure jobs. We have the largest package of the policies to secure the jobs for the enterprises, and they can also enjoy the policies of reduction or exemption of the contribution to the social security. And we have also enlarged the coverage of this policy. During this period, people in the enterprises, they can prolong or even delay the contribution to the social security by an extension of another 6 months. And 3, we will come up with any idea to extend job creations. For the enterprises recruiting more people, we will give them financial support. And also, we give people creating businesses some extra subventions. For the people working on grassroots and in the basic programs, we encourage to create more job opportunities. And we offer a better environment for the creation of new businesses and enterprises. And fourth, we will improve our services. For example, giving more training opportunities for the personnel working in the province so they can be better qualified in a shorter period to come to new job opportunities. And by raising the skills of our employees and also by giving more opportunities online, we can give more access to people to the job vacancies. We will give non-stop service online for the job-seeking activities. And fifth, the government will always stay by your side. We will give the priority to the people living in poverty. We will use different methods, for example, the association and collaboration. For some migrant workers and farmers who have difficulty in leaving the provinces, they can enjoy from the settlement policy from the government. For those people living in extreme poverty or people in a jobless situation, they can also receive the basic living allowance every month. We believe that with the synergy of different parties, finally, we can lower the COVID-19 impacts and also secure the jobs in the Hubei Province. Now the floor is open for your questions. Please identify yourself before giving your question. Good afternoon. I'm from CCTV. The precondition to secure jobs. Could you please talk about that? How you have resumed your work? I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Xie Gaobo. The resumption of work of enterprises is closely connected with the income of the people. The local government has attached great importance to that. On the 31st of March, with the situation much improved in the province, we have published in a timely manner an announcement that while securing the control measures, we have to launch a tiered mechanism to encourage enterprises to resume their work. At municipal, township, and village level, we have set up the mechanisms of service to help people and also help the enterprises to tackle their difficulties in resuming their work. With the synergy of all parties, we have already enjoyed a preliminary success, and our people are enjoying a faster moving speed of the rhythm of their work. There are more than 43,000 enterprises in the province with a total work resumption ratio of 93.8%, and there are 66.3% of the people back to their job, and that is a 53.1 percentage points higher than the previous month. For the industries, there's a better ratio of resumption. There's a ratio of resumption of 98.1% in the large-scale industries. Their electricity consumption has been restored to the normal level. And second, we have accelerated the application of the programs. By the last day of the month, for the programs with more than 100 million RMB, 90.1% of them have resumed their work. For example, for the high-speed railway construction and also the waterworks. By March the 31st, for 12 major supermarkets and 206 major shops, they have all resumed their work. 17 major wholesale markets have all resumed their work. 34 e-commerce platforms have come back to work. Apart from Wuhan, all the other townships and cities have resumed their transportation services. In Wuhan, there are 6 lines of subways come back to normal. Now we have a steady control of the epidemic, so we have adjusted our conditions to support the resumption of the work. And we have also readjusted the risk level of different regions. For the beauty salons and other daily service sectors, we have lowered the threshold and also loosened our control to that. For the logistic problem and human resources difficulties, we have also come up with other solutions. We have come to a new stage of the work resumption. Moving forward, we will continue to follow the directions of the local government, and we will put the focus of our work on the improvement of the efficacy of our work and also the efficiency. Currently, for the industrial development chain, there is still the mismatch of the tempo of people's activities, and we have to resolve that problem. At the same time, we also have to come up with the other ideas to restore the normal order of people's daily life and also their daily work. Thank you. Next question, please. I'm from China Daily. On the 28th of March, the People's Government of Hubei has published a document titled "The Measures to Help the Graduates of Universities in Hubei." And that is an important document. And what is the detailed content about this document? Thank you for your question. Job is an important subject connected to people's daily life, and the graduate job seeking is one of important part of the total job situation. This year, we have a rather big number of graduates from university, so we are also under great pressure. The provincial government has considered it as an important priority of our work. We have published 10 rules in total to secure the jobs for the graduates. There are 3 categories. First of all, we will strengthen our efforts for the job recruiting activities online. We have used the Internet Plus service, and we have made full use of all kinds of online platforms to share information and also to publish the announcements online. And people can find their jobs online and also sign contracts with the employers online. The Department of the Education has also carried out a very big event of the online job-seeking activity for the graduates in Hubei. Second, we have postponed the timeline for the job seeking, for the contract signing, and also for the health checks. For the graduates in our province, they can keep their personal archives in the university for as long as 2 years. And within 2 years, they can still enjoy those benefits as the graduates from that year. And third, we have increased our support and assistance to the graduates of this year, and we have given them mental service, psychological consultation, and other services. For example, for the government servants, the public servants, and also for other government-related positions have increased the recruiting opportunities. And also at the grassroots level, for the program of the remote area assistance, we have increased the job opportunities. For 2020, we will also give more training programs to build more qualified personnel for the grassroots teachers and also for the workers. We will use multiple channels to take those graduates in. For example, the SOEs should play a leading role, and also the affiliated units of work of the government should recruit more graduates. And also we encourage the graduates to join the troop, join the military parts. And another is that we will give more policy support to the graduates. We encourage to continue their education if possible. For example, they can join the postgraduate programs for master degree, and until now we have already registered a higher number of the applicants than the previous years. And for those industries that are playing a leading role in recruiting the graduates, they will receive more support from the government. At the same time, we also encourage the graduates to create their own business, to set up their own enterprises. And next is that we encourage the graduates to join the Hubei plan, so more graduates can find a job in the locality, in the province. We have this initiative towards the graduates from the universities of Hubei this year, and we will do our best to apply every detailed rule to the maximum point. Due to the COVID-19, many enterprises have witnessed more difficulties. They have shown weaker signs of recruiting, and even some enterprises, they have even some willingness to sack the employees. So what is your response and reaction to that? I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Dong Changqi. Thank you for your question. Enterprises are important carriers of the job creation. Currently, we have made a package of policies to help the enterprises. First of all, we have reduced the burdens financially for the enterprises. All the enterprises currently in the province, they can benefit from the policy of reduction or even exemption of their contribution to the social security. For the period between February to June, they can benefit from a reduction or exemption of 27 billion RMB. We have extended the coverage of this policy to all the enterprises engaged in the social security program. And for those enterprises who have already contributed their their parts to the unemployment insurance for the previous year, they can have the rebate of all that parts to 100%. More enterprises will be included into the coverage of this policy. And second, we encouraged enterprises to recruit more people, especially recruit those people living in poverty and living in difficult conditions. And we encouraged enterprises to recruit more graduate students. For every new student they take in, they can receive 1,000 RMB as a subsidy and also a measure of encouragement. At the same time, we also give extra policy to give them financial benefits. All those measures aimed at giving enterprises the services to reduce the financial burden and to resume their work as soon as possible. At the same time, we also help the workers to go back to their old positions as fast as possible. We have the transfer of the personnel and also the dispatch of the labor. We have also carried out the online job-seeking activities. For the low-risk regions, we have the small-scale meetings to help the enterprises to meet people qualified for their job vacancies. Until now, we have 5 million people realizing a cross-border, cross-provincial border work resumption. Within the province, there's a flow of people of 1.87 million. That's all. Thank you. Next question, please. Thank you. I'm from the Economic Daily. Here's my question. For the Financial Department, what is your measure to secure the jobs? I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Wang Bing. Thank you for your question. The finance is playing an important role in securing the jobs, and we are following the guidelines given by the upper government. We have taken 3 important measures from 2 aspects. First, about the 2 aspects. The first aspect, we have collaborated with the Human Resource Department and the Finance Department to strengthen our efforts in giving the guarantee fund to people creating their own businesses. And the second is that we encourage the financial institutions to increase their assistance to the enterprises, especially those in the private enterprises and also in the SMBs to secure the jobs. More specifically, I'd like to give you explanations in 3 measures. The first measure is that we have given more preferential policies in the guarantee loans to the SMEs. For the SMEs, applying for the loans from the banks, when they have a certain number of the employees, the maximum loan quota that they can apply is 3 million RMB. The proportion of the personnel, we have lowered the threshold from 25% to 20%. And this has made it possible for more SMEs to have access to this preferential policy of the guaranteed loan. And at the same time, due to the impacts of the COVID-19, we have taken some measures in reaction so that we can lower the financial burden for the SMEs and give them more support. Let me take an example. For the individuals and SMBs impacted by the COVID-19, when they are applying for the business creation loans, we have to give them priority. And for the issued loans for SMEs, for those enterprises who have difficulty in paying back the loan due to the impact of the COVID-19, they can apply for a prolonged period. Until now, this can be prolonged until the 30th of June, and there's no extra fee due to the prolonged or the delay of the paying back of the money. And during that period, they can also continue to benefit from a subsidized interest rate. Second is that we have responded to the requirement of the enterprises for financial assistance. We have to take full use of the 300 billion RMB earmarked fund from the PBOC and another 500 billion RMB of earmarked fund for the job creation of the PBOC to help our enterprises in the province. We have to enlarge the coverage of our policies to benefit more enterprises. By 31st of March, the banking sector has in total issued earmarked loans 30.2 billion RMB to major enterprises engaged in the fight against the COVID-19. For example, the manufacturers of the anti-epidemic materials, enterprises working in the restoration and also in the logistics. At the same time, we have also used the rediscount and also the reloan as much as 10.4 billion RMB. In total, there are 106,000 enterprises benefiting from this policy, and the weighted ratio of the interest rate is 4.6%. While supporting the enterprises to resume the work, we have actually helping them to restore their normal order of the work, and this in return has helped to secure the jobs. And third is that we have improved our service to the SMBs, and we are cultivating new entities in creating new businesses. Currently, the SMBs take up a big amount of the local economy. We also have the Million Program. While launching this program, we have another special action 2020 for Wuhan. For the leading banks and other entities, we are bringing the tangible benefits to the enterprises. With all those measures and policies, we are working towards a better increase rate of the inclusive loans to the SMEs, which may respond to the requirements of the central government and also to the expectations of our people. And we also will try our best to do a good job in our daily work so that we can have a better result finally for the year 2020, and we can apply all the measures to secure the jobs and make our part of contribution from our sector of banking. Last question for the day. For the people impacted by the COVID-19, they have difficulties in their daily life. So what is the measure to help these people living in difficult conditions? Thank you for your question. The measures to secure the jobs and daily living for the people, we have already made some moves. First of all, to secure their daily survival, we have first of all increased the level of assistance and also prolonged the period of assistance to them, and we have also enlarged the coverage of the people. The unemployment allowance has been increased. In the past, it's only 85% of the minimum wage, and now it's 90%. For those people retired for less than 1 year, they can also benefit from relevant policies. And for those people who are not qualified for the allowance of the unemployment, they can receive 6 months of assistance found for unemployment situation in their cases, as much as 80% of the unemployment criteria. And second, that we have to ensure that for every family there is at least one person at work, so that there is zero case of family with no people out at work. For people working in the places for the public benefits, and for those people having difficulties in the work, they can have an extension of 1 year in the preferential policies. For those people who still cannot find a job, those people living in extreme difficulty, they can be settled with some positions for public benefits. Third, for the registered unemployed people, they can receive some job-related services. They can join the training programs for free, And for those people qualified for the creation of business, they can apply for extra preferential policies to create their own businesses. We will also keep up with the registration of people unemployed. In different places, the local governments can also carry out their own policies. And currently, we have witnessed more positive signals of the work resumption and job creation. For those who are still in a jobless situation, please not be disappointed and please be optimistic because we are making more efforts. And we are in contact with the coastal provinces in eastern China. And we have also planned this designated job-seeking event for the people in Hubei. I wish you a big success in finding a good job. Thank you for all the speakers today, and thank you for our journalists. That's the end of today's presser.